know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. You can run, you can hide, but inside, I'm finally getting to you. Yes, it's true. I still love you, but I am getting to you.
Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1. Mark.
Welcome back to the Resupply with me, guy next door.
And me, Than.
Bringing you your definitely weekly double tap of all things Space Marines and Laser Force. Every
100%.
week, consistently, you know.
Without fail.
Without fail. Reliable. Like the British rail system. Or something. I don't know. I hear it's quite good. Oh, Morrigan! 12 months. 12 months. Happy birthday to you. Happy Resupply birthday. Thank you very much. Very nice to see you. Very nice to see you. Very nice to see all of you in chat. Hello, chat. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy, it's been a minute. And obviously we're missing the third. Everyone knows the strongest shape is a triangle. we're missing that third pillar of intelligence that we normally have on the podcast. So you just get kicking an old school today with me and Than. Hello, Than.
Hey, bro.
What's going on?
I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen your face. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah.
Like,
It's weird, isn't it? Like, it's weird not chatting on a weekly, or at least like chatting like this on a weekly.
yeah. It's. I mean, yeah. I feel like when I don't do a pod or stream whatever, it's like it actually like throws my entire rhythm for the week off. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm so used to it's like, oh yeah, this is the thing that happens,
Yeah.
and then it didn't happen for multiple weeks for various reasons, and it was just like, oh, right.
Yeah.
And now here we are, like a month later, finally having another episode. It's like, oh, okay, fine.
I had to go back and
It's
check.
fine.
I was like, what was the last one that we did? It was Rewatchables, I believe. Unless I've messed that up, which, happens. Ah, Slam Man! 17 months, dude. 17 months. That's
Damn.
awesome. And you just started a hype train. That's bloody brilliant. Just skip Gen 8. How dare you? How dare you, Marcus? How dare you? Gen 8 is beast. Never skip Gen 8. Oh, Gibbo, mate! See what happens? We should not do a show every 3 weeks and then people will take our money. We missed you.
I'm not sure that's how that would work consistently. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Speaking of take your money, I'm gonna bring something up shortly, which involves me taking your money. Sorry, let me rephrase it. Involves you making a great financial decision for your future. But we'll talk about that soon.
I don't think that's what that's gonna be, bro. But okay.
Swally with the gift sub to Ampy. That's so nice.
My God, I confirmed mine before the stream started, so that so Steve-O wouldn't have the fucking squirrel brain lights going on and distracting him. And now here all you motherfuckers are just like, here, look, Steve, flashy lights, flashy lights, flashy lights.
Love it. Siri, what is a Ponzi scheme? I love that. That's fucking funny. Hydrate. We might as well hydrate too. Cheers. I think you might have just broken my lights there, Smolly. We'll find out. Thank you all for your generous for your generous subscriptions to our channel. It's very nice of you. Flash of inspiration for Than sanity.
Bruh, that's gonna take a lot more than 300 channel points. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Just gonna throw that out there.
So obviously we've been away for a couple of weeks, and we'll dive into why that's actually a thing. But it's very nice to see you all here. We have quite a packed show because obviously there's a it takes 300 more. There's a bunch to get through. You know, it happens. It happens.
It's true. Smalley, we can't take you guys anywhere. That is entirely accurate. Like
Flashing lights.
taking a group of Lasers players anywhere.
I love it.
No.
Oh yes.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the absolute worst. Taking you motherfuckers anywhere.
We went to we went to the movies as a group in Ballarat for nationals, and there must have been like 30 of us in that cinema. From what I remember, it was probably only like...
Some of you went to a movie in Ballarat, yes.
Some of you stayed home and counted medic hits.
And some of us were stuck doing stats. Yeah, no, that's it's entirely how that went. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, 17 months.
So please please tell me again how great this movie was.
I was just gonna say
Ballarat.
I was just gonna say that, you know, I remember the experience being enjoyable, and it was all sorts of shenanigans. 100 biddies, Nate. Thank you so much for the bits, dude. That's very nice of you. Man, 17 months. Is that how long we must have? You guys are all like OG subs,
day ones.
So yeah, it must. Wow, 17 months. Goodness me. Hashtag all 17.
Ducky's at work. Okay, Ducky's at work and wants us to entertain him. Ducky, have you met us? I think you have us confused with another channel that is actually entertaining. Because especially when it's just Steve-O and me, we're not entertaining. We have no idea.
Certainly on Twitch.
How to do anything. Yeah.
We're certainly online. Right, we'll rip through a couple things, and then we'll talk about some Laser Force specific stuff. But we'll get the other stuff out of the way for now. You just dropped by and you take daughter to dancing. Troy, very nice to see you, my bro. Let's play some mini golf soon. Right, so a couple of quick, a bit of a recap from the last month. Obviously we had a couple of weeks.
Fuck.
we had
such a horrible thing to say. Fuck.
Well, I mean, I've been streaming, obviously, and you've been streaming a little bit, not nearly as much as I remember you streaming. But we've been online. We just obviously haven't done this show, which breaks my bloody heart. I was so amped for last week, but we'll get there. So you know, we took a week after the Rewatchables pod because we didn't really have much to talk about, and I think you had gone away, or we, for some reason, we were just like, look, we'll take a break this week. We might as well. We don't have much to say.
Something like that.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Enjoy those emotes. Oh, Kodama. Oh, wait. I don't understand what's happened there. Shawnee's gifting a sub. Did 2 subs just come through? Kanama with the resub? Hashtag all 16?
Yep.
And then Shawnee paid it forward. That's very nice of you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to quickly get rid of that. There we go. So we took a week off with the understanding that the following week we would be doing a show. Now myself and my wife, we've kind of been looking at buying a house, or, you know, looking at buying a house, and we found a place that I really loved, and we were very excited about it. And it's the first time that we've actually, you know, gone further down the process of making an offer and all that sort of stuff. But it didn't go our way, and as some of you know, Maddie Jordan, Maddie J, Shit Piss Mondays, what up, bro? Very nice to see you. Wow, that's I'm surprised. It's so nice to see you, bro. I hope you're well. So we were looking at buying a house. We found a place I really liked. Didn't get it. For those of you who know me, I'm quite an emotional guy. I wear my emotions kind of very on my sleeve.
Not at all. Not you.
So I was pretty gutted that we didn't get the place. So I decided, hey, look, I feel very glum. I'm okay about feeling glum. Glum is an emotion I'm okay with, but I was just like, I don't feel like I could do it justice doing a show and be up and it'd feel fake to me, and I don't want to, I don't want to do it. So I was like, I'm going to take the weekend. We'll take another weekend off. It'll be fine. We'll come back the following weekend. Was that the weekend that you guys went away?
Yeah, so the last show we did was the 5th/6th, depending upon what part of the world you're in. And then the week after 12/13th was you having your glum off the house, which I would have missed that show anyway because I was traveling. So whatever. I mean, people don't usually miss me, so it's fine.
I miss you.
And then we get to last week.
Then we get to last week.
Yeah.
I was so amped to do the show. I'd gotten up that morning. The day before, I had like some stomach pain, which was nothing too major. It just made the day very uncomfortable for me. That was the Friday. On the Saturday, I was like, okay, I think I feel okay. Yesterday was random, but we're good to go. We're gonna do the show, and then about a half an hour, if that, 45 minutes before the show, I got some the pain came back, and I was like, oh, that's dumb. Well, maybe I'll lie down and hopefully it'll pass. And I was kind of on the couch, and then all of a sudden, just shit kicked off. And I was like, I can't do the show today. I think I'm in trouble. So, no, you're good. You're good, heathen. You're all good. Kiwi AIDS is the correct term. So I got Dan to message Than, which if it's that, it's bad when Dan messages you, say, hey, Steve's not good.
Yeah, that was one of those like, wait a minute, why is Dan messaging me? Because the notification popped up, but I don't have message previews on my phone. I was like, no.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, Steve-O is not feeling good. Okay. It's like, okay, well, obviously he's feeling like shit because Dan is messaging me and not Steve-O. Because usually when this happens, Steve-O just puts something into the group chat going, hey guys, I'm fucked. We're not going to do a thing. Okay, fine. Cool. So Dan's messaging me, but she's not saying that he's dying. So it's probably not too bad, because I feel like if you were dying, she would have said something like that.
So it turns out I thought I was dying. You got to hear from Dan. It's bad when Dan can. Yeah.
Caruso messaged me. I felt so blessed.
She was like, "That is Caruso. No podcast." Yeah, so whilst Dan messaged you, I thought my insides was gonna explode. I thought I was birthing an alien, and not in that way that happens after you visit a buffet, but rather from So I spent. It's funny because I couldn't get comfortable, and it felt like it feels like what they talk about, like appendicitis feeling like, except it wasn't on the correct side for that. So I'd get up off the couch, I'd double over in pain, and then I'd take my shorts off, so I'm wandering around in my undies and my t-shirt, and I walk up to the bathroom, and then I was like,
that's a mental image I probably didn't need, but okay.
Just get wet, it's gonna get worse. So I'd walk up there, I'd be like, oh god damn, whipped off my shirt, so now I'm just in my underwear, walk back to the lounge, roll around on the floor, get up off the ground, put my shorts back on, realizing I'm in the lounge with the curtains open, walk back to the bathroom, double over, roll around on the ground, take all my clothes off, roll around on the ground. So it was not a great sight for anyone that might have happened across.
It's much funnier in hindsight, obviously.
Put my underwear back on, go to the bedroom, like headbutt the bed because the pain. Yeah, so I was real struggling, and then I was like, you have ulcerative colitis, it's absolute bitch if you cried and hard and pain. Morgan, isn't it so shit? It's so average. Being in like pain, you can't do anything. Can we get an animation reenactment of this?
No.
Any animators
let's
out
not
there?
do that.
So I'm like I'm in various states of undress at multiple times. I'm sweaty because like I'm in pain, and then I was like, all I could manage I yelled out to Dan because Dan's like, what? There's not like literally nothing I could do. What do you want to do? All I could mutter was
message me and DK and say, hey, we're not having a show.
Yeah, I was like, Dan, hospital. That's all I could kind of mutter out between like pain. You want to watch naked Steve roll on the floor and repeat?
Just come to a Nats. I'm sure we can make that happen.
You're not wrong. So yeah, we were gonna call an ambulance. It was that bad, and then I managed to puke everything everywhere.
Lucy's actually gonna try and animate that.
Excellent.
Oh dear.
I expect to see the censored blur at like all over that video. So I did end up I puked. Asked Dan to cancel the ambulance because I was like, okay, I feel a little better. We can drive to the hospital. Drive to the hospital. By the time I get there, I'm feeling okay. Go into the emergency room and it all kicks off again. And I'm just like, oh God, I can't get naked in the emergency room. I'll probably get arrested. So instead of like, hey, Gren, what's up? Instead of rolling around naked on the hospital floor, I was just, I kind of. You ever see people who are like, hey, I can climb this, I'm on a chair and I can climb around the chair without touching the floor? That's kind of what it looked like I was trying to do with the wheelchair. I was just like on top of it and then like, curled up around the wheels. It was awful. So, there was an old lady who was there with her son, I guess, and there was a queue of like 3 people. It was like the people getting seen, and then the old lady who needed attention, and then me who's doing some crazy breakdancing. And then so they were like, hey, we need to see that guy, he looks like he's gonna die. And the rest so I spent the day, I spent a good like 8 hours in the emergency room. It was not a fun day, and as a result, we didn't get to do a show. But we're here. We're here now. I feel much better about life, both mentally and physically. So I appreciate all the messages that people sent through as well during my stay in the hospital. I kept it, I didn't really keep it a secret. I posted a photo of me in the emergency room. Sam was like, oh, so you're like real sick then. Why is that not going? That's strange. Forgot to turn that on. Sorry about that.
Just there just wasn't really a
Cheers.
like because Dan had been the one to message me saying, hey, Steve's not feeling well. When you sent the picture of you in the hospital gown and all that, was like, oh yeah, okay, that tracks. That's yep,
Yeah.
sure.
I've spent a reasonable amount of time in the emergency room over the last couple of years. It's not something I would suggest that you do if you're not needing to go there during COVID times, because it's a real weird feeling being in an emergency room during COVID. It's strange. But anyway, so we're here. We're feeling good. He keeps one at home. Yeah, a hospital gown. Exactly right.
Hey, whatever kinks he has, it's fine. We don't kink shame here.
We're back.
So my reason for, not being here for a show, way more fun than yours. Being on vacation, much nicer than being in an emergency room. Just gonna throw that out there.
Now, obviously, we've moved the show a day, and that is because both yourself and DK weren't available yesterday. DK's on holidays for Thanksgiving, I believe.
Yeah, he's. I think he's actually literally in the process right now of driving back to Sacramento, and
Right.
I had a show last night, so it just.
How
But
was your
last
show?
night just did not work. It was fucking so. From a playing standpoint, it was fucking great. Like it was probably one of the best shows that we've played, if not the best show that
Nice.
we've played. Like it felt real fucking good.
Yeah.
We debuted a new song, which is
Ooh.
always fun. Even if said song did not have lyrics yet,
Yeah.
the music behind it is it's a fucking banger. So that's awesome. The only thing that kind of sucked was that we were on this venue's outside stage instead of being inside,
Yeah.
and it was cold.
Oh.
Um, and like when the show got booked originally, it was like the understanding was it was supposed to be inside, but because of the way that their setup is, like they have to move gear from inside to outside to do the outside shows,
Mm.
and they decided no, we just don't want to move the stuff back in, so we're gonna do the show outside. And it's like, guys, in non-freedom units, because there's a lot of non-freedom unit people in chat. When the show started, it was between like 7 and 8, and by the
Ooh.
time the show finished, it was about 5. Um, so like it was one of those things where like I was really glad that we opened the show because like by the time the last band played and was done, like
Mm.
my hands were shot just because of the cold. And talking to the guys in the last band, like all three of them were like, yeah, no, like our hands just like we just couldn't get them warm. And it's like, well, I could tell because there were some notes hit that were like, yep, that's a cold hand note. Um,
God Hand Note is, by the way,
so
is a great cowboy name. Just FYI. Anyway, continue. That's such an
uh,
old man joke. That one. Oh, yuck.
anyway,
Mm.
uh, I'm I'm just gonna
So yeah, it
ignore
was
you.
cold.
It was cold. So but other than that, like and the fact that I don't think the stream from the venue or the recording that I did that people did for me, like both of them cut off the first song of the
Ah.
set, which is like really. But in the grand scheme, like okay, so we got 11 of the 12 songs recorded, and really the one that I wanted recorded was the brand new one that was debuting, because that was the one I definitely wanted to listen back to. And um, then I did a stream last night, like splitting that audio file up, so some people got to hear those songs multiple times
Mm.
already, which was so that was kind of an interesting and fun thing, and something that I'm gonna probably do more often on
Awesome.
on my channel. Like when I have a show and I have an audio file to split, I'll do that on stream
Mm.
because that actually seemed to be fun. But yeah, no, so the show was good. Vacation, the 2 weeks before was good. Um, it's always I kind of forget sometimes how much I miss like mountains and ocean,
Yeah.
because
Oh yeah.
for because for those of you playing along at home that don't know, well, you all should know by now. I live in Texas now.
Mm.
I live in the Dallas Fort Worth area. For those of you not familiar with Texas, and why the fuck would you want to be? It's very flat here,
Yeah.
like real fucking flat, like
Like flat Earth.
flat. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of people here that do believe that too, which is a whole other
I mean, it
thing.
makes sense. I've been to Texas. It's no wonder why they're like, well, yeah. Look how flat it is. It's not flat.
Molly as flat as Peterborough. I've never been to Peterborough, so I don't know.
Mm.
But and then being on the getting back out to California, Oregon, and like, oh look, there's mountains. Oh look, I can get out to the coast. Yeah, it was a really good week. of seeing friends and, hiking and all that good stuff. So, um, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
And and just addressing what Paradox said in chat. So the link that has just been posted actually has the basically the previous incarnation of the band. We're actually looking to record um, basically December, January, so we can get actual new music out of the new version onto Spotify, so that all of you lovely people can hear the new stuff. But Paradox, if you are actually curious, in the community content on Sin's channel, I posted a link from the new song from last night. So
Yes.
there you go.
That's exactly what I'm going to do after the show. Well, I'm very glad that it went well. I missed seeing that there was a stream. Mostly because yesterday was kind of recovery day, health wise. Mostly, which is good. There was some crackerjack jokes just being thrown around in chat. I really like
Yep.
your joke, Know It All. The squeak joke. That was a great joke. And Peter Burrow is also really good. Burrow. So I mean, yeah, there's actually some Laser Force relevant stuff that's happened over the last couple of weeks, which is really cool.
There is.
Actually, there was one last thing before we get to that though. So as some of you, like people who have known me for many, many years, and there's a lot of you, I thought I'd save it for this particular show because it's a little easier to talk about rather than the ones where we're playing games. Back in the day, we used to run a streetwear company called Half Past Streetwear, and that's how I got to know Blue Sin actually, and These Four Walls was through the streetwear company. Many of you old school Laser Force sceners, I guess, will have no doubt seen the Half Past logo at one stage or another. You could never afford a shirt back in the day. Cheapskate Steve not hooking you up. What a jerk.
Pretty much.
And that trend continues. So I was talking with my business partners because we went on and formed. You still in your Eclipse tee? That was one of the first ones we did. That's awesome.
Still got one of those too. Yeah.
I don't have, I've got hardly anything. I have from the Half Past days. I thought it was here. It's somewhere around. Basically, my Toothpick Steve bandana. That's a Half Past bandana. But Half Past Streetwear was really special to us, and we thought, well, we missed the 15-year anniversary, but the number 16 is kind of special to our community, especially. Hashtag all 16. So make you another? Nah, man, you want to keep that. That's vintage. So we decided we'd do a 16th anniversary special edition run of Half Past t-shirts and hoodies, which look like boom. Look at that young dude over there. Look how young he is. Not a beard, nor a hint. There's a small hint of a double chin. I've since cultivated that double chin. It's now a thing of beauty.
Or something.
No glasses. That was prior to me realizing that, hey, I can't actually see things very well. But basically, we're doing a run of Half Past merch. In fact, the order's closed in 2 days. So if anyone wants one, send me a message either on Facebook or Discord, !Discord and chat. There's no female cuts. There's no female cut hoodie. The hoodies are unisex, but there is male and female tees. I'll post the measurement charts up in the Discord so you guys can see. But otherwise, send me a message if you want some garments and I can sort you out. But I thought I'll use our platform here to try and shill some stuff. It looks like a Māori version of the dude in Shang-Chi that runs the Fight Club in Macau. Yeah, that's how cool I am.
Hang on. Isn't that what this whole channel is? Just us, flinging stuff at people?
Yeah, I mean, it's one big Ponzi scheme. Somebody mentioned it earlier. One big old Ponzi scheme. But yeah, if you wanna hit that nostalgia. Oh, also the photos don't really do it justice, but the ink that we're using is a metallic gold and metallic silver, so they actually have a shimmer to the print. I personally really like the silver. I think it looks dope.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get lots of
That's what I'm
silver
getting.
ones. Yeah. And if you do live overseas, which most of you do, I've got Than's going to be taking care of US distribution. I haven't got somebody in Oz yet, but I'm sure someone can help me out. There's a bunch of you, so I'll probably send, like we did for the cap merch. Maybe we'll run some more caps, actually. I'll have a think on that. But if you want some half-bar stuff, let me know. One thing as well, if you are from the Resupply community, and you place an order, I should have bought one out, but I've got some half-past trucker caps as well. If you place an order, I'll chuck you in a trucker cap for free. So, yeah. Send me a message. Let me know what you want, and we can sort you out. Right, that's enough of that. It's funny because I've just been writing a new Toothpick Steve rap song all about shilling product. Clap your hands if you now need to make a deep dive in a day. What's a deep dive in a day?
I
just wanted to.
We've been flummoxed by chat.
Yeah.
Not for the first time.
Kranovix, you got me. Oh, Halo deep dive. Oh, yeah, is that? Oh, that's tomorrow. Yeah, community content over on Blueson's channel. Hell yes, can't wait. Is that for Nate? It's so hard to keep up. So hard to keep going. Oh, deep dive in a day is a new Toothpick Steve single. That's the name of the album. Right now, Laser Force stuff. Is today the last day to order? Tuesday or Wednesday? Only I get paid Wednesday. Wednesday's fine, bro. Just email me what you want and then pay for it then. It's fine. We'll talk about it after. But just email me. It's not email. Just message me. It's fine. So Laser Force stuff, because most of you come here for that.
Do they though? Do they?
I guess it's a half and half, right?
I don't know. I feel like if people came here for just the Laser Force content, one, they'd be sadly disappointed, and two, they really would not get very much Laser Force content.
True story.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Feed me lasers. You want me to look while you make the deep dive, sweet Cran? Thank you very much for the look, my bro. Right, so we got some news this week. Right off the bat, the most important thing to talk about this week is the state of border restrictions in New Zealand at the moment, which is a little heavy as a topic, but we're going to talk about it anyway, because it really is relevant to anyone who would like to travel for some laser tag. So,
or anything for that matter.
You always log in 30 minutes after start time to avoid the ads. Oh, that's awesome.
Apparently, Steve-O, we have the longest fucking pre-roll in Twitch history.
That's so funny, man.
We've just been murdered by tragedy. Tragedy just fucking murdered both of us. Oh god.
Oh, that's
fuck me
so good.
Running. Fuck. Yeah.
They don't do anything. They just
911. I'd like to
report.
911. I'd like to report a drive-by. I'd like to report a murder. Fuck me.
Oh, that's so good. So so New Zealand border restrictions are opening up as of, hang on, I've copied a thing from the place that knows the stuff.
Yep.
So
Yeah, let us not fuck this up by trying to paraphrase. Let's actually like do the thing properly
yeah.
for a change.
Still, see, funnily enough, I always prep the info. I just really good at acting dumb. So really good, real good. So here's what
Surprisingly
the
good.
here's what the website said. Fully vaccinated foreign nationals, that guy, most of you in chat, including international students. Probably could have deleted that. Will be able to visit New Zealand without a stay in managed isolation from April 30th. There's a bunch of other stuff on there about Australians being able to come and go sooner than that, but I figured April 30th for all international people is the most relevant info at this point. This part of the reopening will happen in a staged way, according to COVID-19 response minister. Oh, fuck off. Like all travellers to New Zealand, they will need to take a pre-departure test to prove they are double-dosed and fill in a travel declaration form. They will also need to self-isolate for 7 days. So,
So it's that self-isolation for 7 days right now that it's like, yes, let's start with the big thing of awesome. Borders are going to be open, travel, cool, fine, great. That is fucking amazing. And I'm sure I speak for everybody when it's like, yes, fantastic. But and there's always a but with that part. The 7 days of self-iso that's a requirement when you get to the country. That is still potentially problematic for, people coming for a tournament.
On that though,
Yeah.
so and yes, of course, obviously all of this is asterisks upon the new variant, which I am assuming is what Omicron is.
Yep.
Which, by the
Yeah,
way, is such a badass name. That sounds like the Planet Eater Transformer. What is his name? Unicron? Unicron? I don't know. That's what it sounds like. Brilliant name. Brilliant. Can the self-isolation happen on a scuba boat? I think so. They're all Greek letters.
Yeah.
See? Real good at acting dumb on the show. Real good. Yeah, so the thing that I was thinking is that normally for me anyway, and I guess I'm maybe not a great example, but whenever I travel to a Nats, I usually go 3 to 4 days early. The way I see it is, see you, Kadama. Thanks for stopping by, bro. So yeah, the way I see it is that potentially extending that out by another 3 days or 3 or 4 days is not the end of the world. But I mean, not everyone has a week where they can just do nothing at a different country,
Yeah, and that's the for any of the American contingent that would be looking to come over. Like I feel like that is kind of the challenge, because as most people are aware, a lot of jobs in America don't necessarily have the extended amount of time off that the rest of the world gets, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
And that there is also the thing that's like, okay, so if you were going to come down for 2 weeks and you still want to have 2 weeks of activity, well, now you're down for 3 weeks, and now that's an extra week of money being spent, as it were. So I mean, so there's a lot of moving pieces,
Yeah,
as far as that goes. And And yeah, obviously the asterisk around the new variant that's been discovered in South Africa, and yeah, we'll see if how things change in the next little bit. Um, Sounds like so much freedom. Yeah, yeah, I know, my country and its challenges. Um, but I mean, it's a as a as a as a first step towards, normal, resuming normal service into and out of New Zealand. I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, like the extra week for me is not really too much of a barrier. Like I'm rolling vacation time over from this year into next year,
Yeah.
kind of deliberately because I know that I want to make this trip next year. So I mean, so for me personally,
Yeah.
but I also acknowledge that you know, my situation is different than a lot of the other US players. So
A lot of them, would potentially cram that trip into that, 9 to 10 day period, and so spending a week
yeah.
in South ISO is not doable. Um, Demiorg said, and Demiorg is our tournament coordinator. There's a lot of unknowns, and we may be able to tie the South Isolation Round tournament south if we keep one bubble. Don't speculate too much ahead of time. That's right. So we
Have you met us? This is all we do is speculate with limited information. I'm
got to
just gonna throw that out there.
That's a really
All we can do
dope
right now.
emote. So yeah, exactly right. I mean, if there is a way that we could tie it so that we did all ISO as a tournament scene, I'm not sure how that would work from a business perspective. I don't know if you could go to if we could all then go to Laser Force because they are open for business, right? So I don't know how that would actually work. But it's positive to me because by the time I suppose it's going to be a spike when it happens. It happened when we had the Australia New Zealand travel bubble. They are opening the borders back up to to New Zealand citizens as of I think it's January or February, and then they'll also open it up between Trans-Tasman as well. So there is going to be increased travel between New Zealand and other countries sooner than the April. It's just April becomes the point where everyone can kind of come and go without doing MIQ, which is cool. It means that if we do end up, if we're at a point where we can make a tournament happen, at this stage, speculative dates have been within the window of mid July to mid August, kind of in that range, maybe early July, but that kind of 2 month period is where we can kind of put the tournament. So that's at the moment the speculative date range.
Yep.
Obviously, the dates aren't going to suit everyone. Traj, who decided to book a holiday around July. What a dummy. Plays are close to Aussie titles. Please, so we can play 2 tournaments. That in a perfect world, Marcus, that's exactly what we would do. But I don't know if coordinating 2 tournaments is something I want to take on. So, and I mean, not me, I mean Greg. Because, if we can make it happen like that and make the dates work for the Space Marines community, then we'll try and roll it in. But at this stage, yeah, we all we're worried about at this point is trying to host a pure Space Marines tournament, and if we can do that, if we can make it line up with the other one, then so be it. But yeah, it's not our top priority. But it's positive. It gives us something to look forward to. From a community perspective, from a Australasian community perspective, especially because, obviously, you guys have had tournaments in the States, a few tournaments actually over this period.
Yeah,
one
it's
one coming
amazing.
up.
It's amazing what happens when, half the country, pretends like it just doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly right. Easy. It's the best way to
Yeah.
deal with it.
Totally easy.
I
Yeah,
was I
just
was
just sweep it under the rug. Nothing happens.
I was talking to Virus last night, and because I was like, "Hey, bro, uh, you should come home for nationals." He's like, "Oh, I'll see what I can do. I'd love to come home for nationals, internationals, whatever." Uh, but he said that their daily rates are like 25,000 people at the moment, and they're starting to turn people away from hospitals, and they're going back into lockdown and blah blah blah. GND says I'm the new scout. Yep, you can come play for me, Gibbo. Come play for me. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. 25k luxury. Yeah, for us it's like I think what 200 cases a day or something. Um, yeah, but it's I'm very positive about it. I think we could make something work. I think the community wants it to happen. Um,
Hmm.
we'll just see what happens. But yeah, I what I'd like actually is to put forward to kind of each site rep that is looking to travel down, and just reach out and see which date range would kind of work the best for most people. Because what are the holidays around that time kind of look like for you guys?
So, I mean, if you go early July, that you start running into the 4th of July holiday here,
Yeah.
and that becomes problematic, just because, airfares spike around 4th of July even more so than just around summer
Mm.
in general. So, there's a reason why historically it's been kind of that late July, early August thing, for the U.S. players.
Mm.
Um, because it's the okay, it's still in school holidays, so people didn't have the school um, barrier, as it were. But the tickets were a little bit cheaper because you weren't trying to travel in and around the fourth of July.
Right.
So yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You know what? I was just gonna let it go. I was just gonna
No
let it
way. I
slide on
loved
by
it.
in chat. But
Loved it.
oh no, Steve-O, you just had to give Dolly the platform to,
um.
twist the knife on me a little more. Hey, doll.
So Demi Hawk actually does bring up a very good point, and to be fair, we should have probably brought him on. I actually thought about asking him if he wanted to do the podcast yesterday instead of you guys, but I was like, well, we've taken 3 weeks off, so probably should actually do one with you at least. But so end of July is end of the school holidays for us, and obviously, as most
Okay.
of you know, there's no way that a Laser Force site would close
Oh no.
during the school
Mm-mm.
holidays for us to
Nope.
play. So
That makes no financial sense whatsoever. So
none at
no,
all. Um,
we would never ask them to. I
no,
mean,
of
that would
course not.
be just well. Let me rephrase that. The only possible way you could ask them to is if you had like somebody who was like a Mega Millions winner and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna pay you like twice what you would normally make from people," and even then they might still say no because that's a very negative customer experience to
Yeah,
not be able to have the thing
yeah,
over the time. So, eh,
yeah, exactly right.
eh.
Um, so for all parties, it's within the best interest to not close a Laser Force site during a school holiday period.
Correct.
So that I suppose that would mean that at this stage, the dates would be, that last week or that last couple of weeks of July. So yeah, mid July to mid August is the date range. I think that we'll be looking at. They could watch some real game. Nobody wants to watch Laser Force being played, Marcus. That's why no one televises this shit. Um, except Twitch, and that's because there's something wrong with us. Um, yeah,
Oh God, so much wrong with us. We have neither the time nor training to get into everything that is wrong with us, and that's fine. That's totally fine.
now, Blueson says that he'll be there. That's an interesting thing. That's a very interesting prospect because, as many of you know, Blueson in chat, he no, what's up? Blueson in chat, he is the front man extraordinaire for a band called These Four Walls! Exclamation T4W in chat to check that band out. 100% recommend doing that. Part of my dream scenario is that we would get teams from all over the place to come down, and to cap the tournament off, we'd have the awards. We'd have the awards dinner, and then we would go off to a concert, a gig, if you will.
Gig,
yeah, as a double act by These Four Walls and Empire from Christchurch. That would be the dream scenario.
That would be so good.
Can we have an exhibition lasers match of These Four Walls versus Empire? Fuck yes! Okay, I have a new dream scenario, okay? You know what would make it even better, and you know, just fucking dream building time. But if we could set up a stage at Laser Force, and do a private gig of those two bands in the Laser Force arena, woo, that'd be cool. But I would be happy to settle for going to a gig. So I know both members that I have regular contact with from those bands have said that would be amazing. If we can make it happen, that would be even better. Losers have to be the opening act. That's awesome. Winner plays half of Jet Noise. Traj, I'm so gutted that you work on Saturdays. Why aren't you always here? So yeah, the other thing as well is if for some reason, because I think the biggest issue that I see, I don't see an issue having Australians come and play, because obviously it's a lot easier for that to have Two Big Steve as the opening act. 100% pass. I might wet myself if that has to happen. That'd be terrifying, and then I'd roll around on the floor, and it'd be terrible.
Get naked.
Get naked. Yeah, no one wants to see that.
No, not really.
So if there becomes a point where the Europeans who hopefully are coming down and the Americans who are hopefully coming down, if it happens that those player bases can't make the trip, then we'll most likely still look to do something, assuming the borders are open between New Zealand and Australia. I know we had talked about doing an Aussie, an Anzac tournament, if you will. If that happens, we'll run that more like a random draw, or West Coast or East Coast tournament, like you guys traditionally have done in the States.
Yep.
And that might look more like what we ran as the Triple Threat tournament, where we'll play over multiple sites. I do want to share most of the love with Wire Owl Laser Force, because obviously that is our home site. We want to be able to put as much money back into their site as we possibly can. But we'll run it as a fun tournament. So yeah, it'll be pretty dope. Trip is already planned: Frankfurt to Brisbane to Auckland to Perth to Brisbane to Frankfurt. Do you have to go to Brisbane before you come here? That's strange. Yeah, so we'll no doubt do something as we'll host something down here in Auckland next year anyway. There's Laser Force HQ and scuba diving. I mean, two great reasons.
Definitely rack up the frequent flyer miles on that trip. Jesus, yeah. It's a lot of miles flying.
Yeah, true story.
Yeesh. Anyway.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to being able to do something finally. Obviously, the first time we had to cancel was pretty gutting. I guess we didn't have to technically cancel the second time, but it stayed cancelled this year. So yeah, it'd be really nice to do something. Aussie versus New Zealand North Island tour. So that is something that could possibly happen. There is a lot of laser forces that have opened up over the North Island, and I know that some of the Australians are keen to do some traveling as well. So maybe that might have to happen. A convoy up and down the country, especially with Wellington now getting Gen 8, which I believe was a thing if I remember correctly. Yeah, so people might be more inclined to go down that way and play as well. So, yeah, positive.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic at this point. I think for like the American and European contingents, I think cautious optimism is probably about the maximum level of excited we should be right now.
Yeah,
Um, just because, if things change, it's going to be more likely that, there will be some type of Australia New Zealand bubble
yeah,
eventually, sooner, as opposed to, people from the States or people from Europe being able to get in. Um, is it cool that we do have some goalposts at the moment? Yeah, it is fucking awesome. But, how often have those goalposts been moved in the last, coming up on 2 years?
yeah,
So yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. If everything stays as is, like, I mean, you know, I mean, like right now, I have earmarked part of my bonus to make a New Zealand trip
nice.
next year. Kind of regardless of what the state of play is for everything else. Because again, I have the time to burn an extra week of having to self-isolate if I need to. And the reality is I'm gonna have the money to burn the extra week to self-isolate if I need to. But the secondary thing of I understand, again, not everybody's in the same position I am. So, if that extra week kind of screws up a bunch, more US players being able to come down, that sucks. I'm also in some cases kind of afraid to ask how much the actual vaccine requirement is going to mess with some players wanting to come down, but that is an entirely
Yeah.
other
Well,
thing
we'll put it
as
this
far as
way.
that goes.
And I was going to get into this is a separate thing, but this kind of rolls in nicely. We heard today there was a message that came out on the Laser Force Auckland's Facebook page. They are happy to announce that they'll be reopening Auckland Laser Force from Friday, December the 3rd. So that's like less than a week away.
Nice.
They run under My Vaccine Pass rules, which they must cite or verify, which basically means you'll need to, in order to travel, you'll need to be double vaxxed anyway. But yeah, double vaccination will likely be mandatory for anyone looking to attend international tournament next year. Mostly as a requirement to get into the country. I don't think they're going to let anyone in that's not double vaxxed. So if you're on the fence about it, then maybe this is a reason to push you over. If you're dead against vax, I don't think Laser Force is going to push you in the other direction. But get double vax so we can play some Laser Force. I guess is the best way to frame that. But yeah, we're very excited actually to have Laser Force coming back.
I'm excited for you.
Oh man,
that's cool.
I've missed it. And not only am I excited, I'm also terrified because I'm so unfit at the moment, so unfit, and so yeah, it doesn't bode well for having to run around. You expect the jab should be less than 12 months. I would probably suggest if you're not vaccinated already, get vaccinated now. Laser Force shouldn't be the only drawing factor, but the tournament will be within the next 12 months. Yeah, or boosters. Yeah, exactly right. There's stuff that'll have to happen in order for people to play. What I'd like to have happen is for those who are at current active sites or are like the kind of mainstays of their particular Laser Force site. My suggestion, if you are interested to come to nationals, is to start putting it into people's heads that it's likely going to be around that date range, and if they do want to come, start planning for it to happen. It might not necessarily happen, but it's easier to make the plans and cancel them than to not make the plans and have them have the tournament go ahead and then you're scrambling at the last minute. So if you can reach out to your member bases and ask them what date ranges would suit them best, that'll also give us a good indication of how many people we can expect to come down for next year. Which would be important for basically numbers on site. There's also a couple of places we'd recommend staying if you are looking at traveling down, and we talked about this a couple of years ago.
Oh God, that's such a terrible. Oh fuck! It really has been a couple of years since we were actually discussing this.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck me running.
There's a particular hotel that I'd recommend because it's within walking distance to lasers. It's not overly expensive. It's not the cheapest place you could stay, but it's nice and it's very close. And the walk to and from Laser Force is extremely safe.
It's like a 5-minute walk, is
if that
or something.
to walk from the hotel down the hill, 2 to 3 minutes, because you're walking down the hill. It'll take a little bit to get home. It's not a big hill,
especially after a day of running around and going up and down ramps. You're going, oh my God, my legs, my legs, what the fuck?
You don't need travel insurance. Always
get travel
insurance.
Always get travel insurance.
Take it from your old mate, uncle guy next door. Always buy travel insurance, kids. But the prospect of being able to in the break go up to the accommodation and shower and maybe cook food if you wanted to, but especially shower. If you could shower halfway through the day and get a fresh set of clothes, I don't think I've ever had that one time in the whole time I played Lasers, and we hosted a Nats here. So
I think the best I've ever been able to do on that is you bring a fresh change of socks and you change socks partway through the day.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. Suddenly just going to dry socks is the best.
This is like changing socks for your whole body, Than. Could you imagine? Changing socks but for your whole body? Beautiful. A bath to soak
you and
legs.
Your analogies, I swear to God.
I don't know if they have baths at that one. You might have to settle for a shower. We're not super putu here, just a little putu. Just take wet wipes and a full change of clothes. See, that's an unnecessary thing to do, Shawnee. I mean, sometimes it's necessary, but in this case, if you have the option, you could either dab yourself down with some wet wipes and a towel, or have a shower.
I'm 100% having the shower because showers are fucking amazing, and anybody who says otherwise is fucking wrong.
Old Fresh Socks Than heartily endorses the shower. Right, so that's pretty much the Nat stuff. We'll talk more about that over as we find out more about what the travel bubble morphs into. Don't forget to shower, kids. And as that stuff kind of changes, the stuff with Unicron changes, the World Eater. But at this stage we're cautiously optimistic, so it'll be nice. We require an uphill walk in the legs already. It's not that much of a hill, honestly, Shawnee. It's not that much.
It's really not.
No.
It's
a slight incline.
Stallion. Yeah. I think what you meant was we'll milk more content out of this later. Yes.
100%.
Yes. I'm glad I am glad that you understand what Steve-O means when he says certain things now. Yes.
We
Just,
will take that udder until it runs dry. Okay.
and and then Steve-O will show you more stuff. And
Somebody
then I will show you stuff.
that was the
And then Steve-O will show you stuff again.
that was the cue too to put the Thanatits emote up. um, Speaking of milking, um, so so yeah, we've got some stuff coming. Laser Force Auckland is opening up, which bodes well for our local scene, which I'm very very excited about. The last stuff to talk about briefly is there's been some other people playing some tag recently.
Yeah, those goddamn Europeans with their sites and their like first Space Marines 5 stuff ever over in the Czech Republic, which was very cool to read about. Lucy,
Very
thank you
cool.
very much for, pointing us that direction. Um, and Shawnee, we hate them for it. No, no, no. We don't hate them for it. Are we jealous? Yes, we are 100% jealous. Fully jealous. But hate's a very strong word.
It's like when you hate your friend because they got a Nintendo and you didn't. That's what it is.
Or yeah, just as some sort of random example, right, Steve-O?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's not a personal thing that happened. And also, like, I probably could have chosen something that happened during the 2000s, not
As
the
opposed
90s.
to the 80s? Yeah, that's also fair.
Yeah, like some sort of current thing that people can relate to. So yeah, the chicks Lucy specifically sent through a picture in the Discord server. If you'd like to join our Discord server, !Discord in chat, which is pretty great. They played a great game of Space Marines 5, which just warms my heart all the way up to top temperature. It's very interesting.
Night, yeah.
Actually, looking at the photo that they put up, and perhaps I'll share the photo. Let's have a look here. Let me switch across. Actually, no, fuck it. Who cares? We'll just talk about it. It's fine. So a couple of things to note. They played with a lot of bases turned on.
Yeah.
Which was an interesting thing, and there was something else, but it escapes me right now. But that's okay. But yeah,
the thing that struck me the most from that Members Night Space 5 game from their site was the fact that there were 4 gettable targets for each team. Now we in Sacramento way back in the day, because obviously, we actually played Space 5 like that as well. There were 4 gettable targets, because you just play the arena how it lies. You don't really have any sort of grounding in anything else. And like Small just said in chat, free nuke. Oh yeah. So, and it was possible with the way that the arena was configured for a commander to have a nuke in 30 to 45 seconds, which meant you could really put the enemy heavy under some very early pressure as far as that goes. Because hey, look, there's a nuke that might drop in the first literally 60 seconds of the game. So there was definitely an element of, in amidst all the initial firefighting, oh yeah, you need to make sure you get some lives too, because there may be this really quick nuke happening that may just fuck your whole world up.
Yeah, I would even say, like, if you didn't take 2 resupplies as a heavy right off the bat, like, you'd be in some trouble.
Yeah, but of course then you'd have the you're obviously pushing hard to try to prevent that from happening, and yeah, so it was a thing. I think we dropped it from 4 to 3 gettable targets after like it was after like 8 or 9 months of playing with 4 targets, and we just kind of went, actually, this is dumb. This doesn't require any skill as far as that goes. I think was kind of the thought process.
Yeah.
And then we further reduced it from 3 down to 2. Actually, when we were initially practicing to go to Sugarland in '99, because they only had 2 targets,
Right.
and then we just kind of, I think for the most part, just kind of left it alone. It's like, oh, actually, 2 targets. Sure, your medic can get your medic can get a boost off of it, but you still got to have, some skill and talent to get to a nuke and an ammo boost. And I'm just like, okay, this and also 2 gettable targets is such a common thing across sites that it meant that you weren't having to adjust up and down when you were planning to go places. It's like, oh no, this is what it is. Cool. We don't have to worry about changing things slightly because, oh, now there's 5 or 10 more special points that we're used to getting than we're going to get here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 100%. We, my whole time that we've been playing, we've only ever had 3 total targets in the maze. I'm pretty sure.
2 gettable. Yep. Yeah.
At the minimum, sorry, because there's obviously a lot more there now these days with Gen 7 and Gen 8 kind of increasing the need to have more stuff for the public to do. But yeah, like it's such a good start to see that happen. And yeah, it's more, that's a good strategy. Like, Commander, go get the bases. You could even like do a train rush on the other team at the same time, potentially. And if you have to, I mean, there'd be a lot of sacrifices of heavies, which would make me sad.
SM5 settings should be locked. So to Marcus's point in chat, SM5 settings should be locked so owners can't mess with them. So historically, and I haven't looked at the new software lately for obvious reasons because I don't exactly have a site that I can do it at. But historically, the Space Marines 5 parameters within system are pretty much the most locked down of any of them. So like you can't, like the only things you could really do that I can remember off the top of my head were like you could change point values, but you couldn't change down. You could change point values and downtimes, but you couldn't change like shot powers or hit points or anything like that. So that was that was always the thing. Like, so there were certain other game parameter types like Gladiator. You could fuck with just about everything under that set, which meant it was really good for creating new customs because there was a lot you could fuck with. But both versions of Space Marines were very locked down.
I think if there was,
as far as that goes,
if there was more of a push to make a global Space Marine scene, Space 5 scene, then you wouldn't kind of need to fuck around with the games or anything because people would just be like, okay, this is the way that the rest of the world play it. And I assume that's kind of the same for Zone, right? Their competition game spans across multiple countries and is a massive scene. They all, I would imagine, play by the same game code. I mean, I'm speculating wildly, as we often do.
So I'm not as familiar now as I used to be, but there was a point where like it was different in different countries.
Right.
So
we had we had this SM5 Duo tournament in Bautzen, which had nothing to do with SM5 anymore with the adjusted settings and no rules in place. Cheers. Is that the one that you'd messaged me about, Marcus? Because I was going to bring that up. Marcus had sent me a tournament that he went to. Zone is much more international, but then again, they're probably more spread out. Yeah, it was kind of an easier game to kind of Zone 20 rules, yuck. It seemed like an easier game to get into, and I think that's why Australian Zone format is actually different to Worlds. Oh, is it really? Interesting. This is kind of, I think, the maybe the issue with Space Marines, and we've talked about it at length previously. Space Marines as a game mode is a very complicated game mode. So to play it well requires a lot more patience and a willingness to kind of learn how to play the game. And I think that's why it is not as open or as easy to get into it, rather than just, hey, I can go in and I can shoot. And I can learn the basics of the game reasonably well, very quickly. I think that's the difference between... That's why Space Marines is such a harder game mode to push to the rest of the world. Marcus told me about a tournament. The tournament consists of only one free-for-all game, which lasts 4 hours. A team consists of 2 or more players. I think this is a different game, actually, but he's seen me this anyway. A team consists of 2 or more players. Each team plays with a single battlesuit. At each time, only one player per team will be playing. You can switch at any time, leave the arena, pass the battlesuit to another teammate, and continue playing. Your team may switch as often as you prefer. That's a different tournament, actually. That's a different thing. Yeah. Which sounded interesting, but, like, I was like, that's strange, especially during COVID. Sharing battlesuits, yuck. I remember you told me about it, Marcus. So I might have to go back and have a read through. But yeah, it's an interesting Team SmackDown. Is it because it's like a tag team? You go out and you tag your partner, and they come in. It's really interesting.
What it sounds like.
Yeah, but it's good to see. It's good to see SM5 being played a little bit in the Czech Republic, especially now that scene is becoming very more familiar to us than it ever has been. It's good to see that they played a little bit in the UK as well, with some American imports to come and have a look. That Baltzen one was ammo plus medic playing, and 6 teams play at the same time. Down plus safe time. Safe. No.
Okay, so basically there was no reset, no rules in place, full elimination, no consequences, etc.
Yuck. I suppose it's technically laser tag. Was that the one, Marcus? You were telling me there was a viewing area and there was players up in the viewing area pointing out to their teammates where other teams were and where they were going and stuff. That made me so mad, dude. That's like that was that one. Yuck. That's just, it's totally not in the spirit of playing laser tag in general. I think if you've got people who are outside of the game pointing out where people are going or pointing out things that are happening in the game, terrible. No reset means no need for chase rule. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
I'm sorry. I can't fathom playing Laser Force in any game type within it with no reset time, because it's such a fundamental difference of the mechanics of the system.
Yeah, or force. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
If you don't want resets, force may not be for you. But in saying that, like, you know, if you get a lot of places that convert from zone to force, they're used to not having resets or whatever.
The thing is, though,
I'd rather laser force get the business.
Is it zone? I mean, zone does have its own reset thing, kind of. And there are some. I mean, and there are some arguments to be made for, you know, with general public, you know, level ones. If it's not, if the way that your site is running is no members and straight FEC and this, that, and the other, see, there's an argument to be made for removing the reset time, but I think those arguments are dumb. But that's just me.
Dear Diffs Poops, aka Despot. Hello, Diffs Poops. Nice to see you. Welcome to the Resupply.
Just don't get shot. Yeah.
Smalley, yours was an all-night event with casual tournaments. First 2 tournaments with team games without resets and handicap being turned on. Yeah. Oh, look, you know, playing force is playing force. At this stage, nah, I don't think I would. No lasers is better than bad lasers. Like, you know, bad lasers. General public hate it when you reset them, but only do that if they're camping, gets them to move out. You make a point not to chase them though. See, I think that's a good thing. Like if you can walk into an area and you can flush out the public from just standing and being in one area, cool. And if you don't follow them around, that's even better. Like, because it's really shit to just stalk people. Level 9 versus people not logging in was fun. Look, if you're going to play with the general public, then I believe that the handicap system should definitely be put in place. If you're going to play general public games, then you should be at the mercy of the handicapping system, because it's there for a reason. It's there for people not to go in and smash the public, or to at least make it a little bit fairer.
Yeah, but I think in this case the combination was that reset time had been turned off, plus the handicapping, and
right.
sometimes and you know, sometimes being able to get, you know, that first or second shot with other resets in, like that is part of the you know, dealing with the handicapping.
Sure.
So some members weren't logging in. Fuck that.
And that's my issue with, like, if you're a good player, you should be playing under a membership, and you should be getting handicapped playing against lower level players. It is frustrating actually, because we play some non-Space Marines games at site, and obviously we've been playing with some people now for years, and they are still low levels because we never play individual games, which is fine, but they smash in those games. But again, they should, because that will get their level up and the handicap kicks in. So you don't agree? What do you mean, Death Poops? You mean that they need to learn the game before? I'm not sure what you mean. Depends on the game mode and amount of players. You play at least 2 shots to kill. Single player tournament, just use masters. Yeah, I mean, exactly right.
Man, that's what Masters is there for.
Yeah, for us to play individual, just straight laser tag with other quality players without having to worry about, okay, well, you haven't played enough individual games to have a higher level yet, but you've been playing for like 4 years. Wabbit season should be the tournament. Can I... you're a mod.
Fuck
I'm
off,
going to strip you of your mod status and then
Yeah,
ban you.
no. Yeah. Block, unfollow.
Oh boy, it feels bloody good to talk about Laser Force again. I tell you what, I've missed it.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
I can smell a fire though. That's weird.
Are you sure? Are you sure that's just not your guts?
It could be. Zone Ball, I haven't actually. I'd love to hear an update from some Brisbane people about when that's gonna hit the major push, if it hasn't already. I'd love to play that game. That's a video of the Beltson one. Let me quickly open that. I trust Marcus. Let me open that over here and have a look-see. Ooh, that's a cool maze. Oh, I think I've watched this video. That's right. To be honest, please don't take anything you say seriously. You'll be playing for far too long, just a member. Hey, look, I'm
a memer.
I'd love to have a conversation. No, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry, I got distracted by videos.
Squirrel. Squirrel. Squirrel.
Your on Josiah's team is going to be hell. Oh, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Def's poops. You know, he's not all that bad. Plus, he's a good player, so, you know, he might just yell at you a little bit, but eventually he'll grow out of that. He'll get to our age, and then it becomes, do I save the energy for running around, or do I expel some of this energy for yelling? You really gotta, you know, prioritize the energy output when you get old. You've been yelling at each other since the 3rd grade? Oh, perfect then. You should be used to it. Right. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
No, I think I think we've covered pretty much the things that we needed to cover today.
Yeah.
Feel pretty good about today's show. How everybody else feels is, you know, inconsequential because they're still here. It's fine.
Wanna do a very quick shout out to all of you in chat for hanging out with us today. It's been a month.
It has been a month.
Oh, you still owe us 2 weeks of content. Oh, I don't know if I can wring that much out of just a potential government announcement about COVID. We've been going a couple hours, or hour and a half. It's good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Cheers. Somebody, I'm pretty sure, broke my lights. Cheers.
It was Smalley with her suggestion about Wabbit season being the tournament again. Your lights were so upset, they're just like, fuck this, we're out.
Will you guys be in the Colorado for the February tournament? I won't be. Unfortunately, I won't be able to travel there, I don't think, in time. Well, actually, let me have a look at that. But whilst I do, Than, are you going to Colorado?
I'm planning on it. It's on my list of things to do. I have to request the time off still, but I'll be there.
So here's the thing, and this is actually a very interesting thing.
Talk to me, Steve-O.
So
talk to me.
On the website that I got my information from, it says, I'm a Kiwi overseas. When can I come home and skip MIQ? It says it depends on what country you'll be coming from. Fully vaccinated New Zealand citizens and residents traveling from Australia can bypass MIQ from January the 17th. But those returning from other countries will have to wait until at least February the 14th, which actually means that we can travel and come home without having to book MIQ. Which actually means, theoretically, we could travel to Colorado. In theory, it could be done.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Sounds like we may need to have a chat. Not on stream, but I think we need to have a chat.
Let me have a look at some bloody websites for that, because I mean, look, that might be a possibility. I don't know if I'm rushing out to like do some major travel immediately, although I am now double vaxxed, so, and I have a lot of ear points that I need to burn, so.
Hey, bro.
Do we have stats? Which stats would you like?
Yeah, be a little more specific. If you're asking if Auckland has stats on the lfstats.com website, yes, they do.
My stats. What's my stats? Welcome in, Raiders. Hello.
Frosty.
I didn't know that you were streaming. What have you been up to? What have you been streaming there, mate? We're doing doing a bloody show. Playing music. Oh, I love when you play music. We were just talking about the possibility of having an international tournament next year, and what that means from a musical standpoint. So I mean, yeah, from making sure everything was working with the new setup. Oh, it looks good. I did drop in very briefly, sneakily last night when you were streaming. It looked bloody good. Music internationally, yeah. So it means that if we get players come down for a tournament, you gotta go see Venomenom. See you, Trash. Very nice to see you, bro. We're about to wrap up as well. But to answer your question, Defs Poops, possibly. This guy might possibly see you in Colorado. I've not played Loveland yet, and I really want to see it. So, maybe. Isn't the Super Bowl? Oh no, that's in February. Okay, anyway, that's enough of that. Coming up this week.
Early February.
Coming up this week, we will be back with a bunch more streams. I'm hoping that my beautiful wife Dan will be joining me on Wednesday for our Lego build stream. We'll be back, I hope, with Thunderdome Thursday on Thursday. At the very least, we'll be doing some sort of stream on Thursday. I did a Nintendo Switch stream last week, and I really loved it, so I'm thinking I might want to put that into a semi-regular rotation, even if it's just casually streaming on a Tuesday or something. And then we'll be back with the Resupply Podcast next week, and I think the last part of the D&D one shot that we started during the charity stream. So lots and lots of hopefully
fingers crossed.
What have you got coming
up? Longest one shot ever. What do I got coming up? I mean, I'm probably actually gonna stream relatively soon after this show ends. But like as far as like gigs and whatnot, like we're basically done for the rest of the year. We're gonna look to record next month in January so we can get an EP out onto the interwebs. So that the peoples can have some musics.
Amazing.
And yeah, no, overall just not necessarily a ton going on. Just right now it's just life.
Yeah, tell me about it. All right, well, look, for this week, finally for this week, I have been Guy Next Door.
And I've been Than.
Always remember to backtrack, kids. We'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with us. Ka kite anō.
Later up.
I've been throwing daggers in the night. I've been chasing all the stars, stealing all their lights. The cut so sharp, cut so deep. If they seem to hit their target, it must be what we reap. 'Cause you don't know what I know. You don't feel the way I feel. All these places I wanna go makes me wonder if my looks could kill. I've been throwing daggers in my dreams. If they seem to hit their target, it's harder than it seems. You don't know what I know. You don't feel the way I feel. All these places I wanna go makes me wonder if my looks could kill. I'm a well-known stranger, walking my own path. Gave up all my mystery, all these places I wanna go.